was that? Looks like eye shine. Whistle? Fuck. Whistling was a bad idea.
The beam caught something. 2 glowing eyes staring back from the tree line. At first, he figured it had to be a deer, but the eyes were spaced too far apart and too high off the ground. When he gave a short whistle, the shape behind those eyes shifted, rising upright, revealing the faint outline of shoulders and a head. Some say it's just a bear reacting to the light. Others notice how it stands up, not crouches down. So imagine this, glowing eyes in the dark, high above the ground, watching you in total silence. Do you stand your ground, or do you run for your life? Alright, so here's what the OP says. My fiance and I were behind my mother's property on August 14th, when we heard rustling in the woods and a branch snap. We went to check it out, and I managed to take a picture of this figure. We walked away calmly because I saw it move and thought it might follow us. The next day, I went back with my pump-action shotgun, but whatever it was gone. I've had other encounters on this property before, which I've already shared here. Anyway, I'm heading back next weekend to get a better shot of the area since I forgot my phone last time. So yeah, this guy and his fiancée seem pretty convinced they saw something real. But here's the thing, I couldn't find any kind of follow-up. To be fair, I didn't dig too deep, but I've got a feeling there isn't one. Honestly, it looks like a classic case of pareidolia, our eyes picking out shapes and figures where none actually exist. Still, I don't want to completely dismiss his story. He says he saw it move and genuinely thought it was going to follow them. That's not the kind of detail you'd just make up casually. So, what do you all think? Was it something real, or just shadows and imagination working overtime? A driver deep in California's Sierra Nevada mountains captured something that still gives people chills. He was cruising along a quiet mountain road when a sudden movement caught his attention. Something large shifting between the trees. Grabbing his phone, he started recording just as a tall, broad figure emerged, covered in dark brown fur and walking upright. It appeared for only a few seconds before vanishing back into the forest. But what really unsettled viewers wasn't just what he saw, it was what he heard. In the background, deep, echoing calls ripple through the forest, bouncing between the trees. Some say they sound like howls. Others insist it's closer to speech. This part of the Sierra Nevada has a long history of strange sightings and unexplained disappearances. When the driver posted the clip online, locals were quick to note, no bears around here move like that, or stand that tall. Skeptics, of course, brushed it off as someone in a costume. Who that someone might be, no one could say. So what do you think? What did that driver really capture that night? Let's take a look at a terrifying Bigfoot encounter that surfaced on November 15th, 2024. It was submitted to the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization via Snow Creek. The sender claims she had a frighteningly close encounter with a Bigfoot in the mobile home park where she lived 3 years ago, a small town in Northern California near the mysterious Mount Shasta. She recalls, "I wasn't home alone when it happened, and it didn't just occur once. It happened again the very next night." What she captured on video has since made waves in the Bigfoot community. The idea that something that large and elusive could come so close to a residential area twice is chilling. Here's her footage. She says, "The Bigfoot shook the trailer, growling through my window and hitting the side really hard." Not only did she capture the incident on camera, but later that same night, When she stepped outside to scan the area with her light, she caught something even more unnerving. A pair of glowing eyes peering at her from the brush nearby. The combination of the physical force against her trailer and those watchful eyes in the darkness left her convinced that whatever this was, it wasn't just passing through, it was aware of her presence. Shockingly, no one seemed to notice this detail, not even the online viewers who analyzed the clip frame by frame. Could those glowing eyes have belonged to the very creature responsible for the terrifying encounter? The witness admits she never got a clear look at it herself, but the person who was with her that night did. He reportedly stepped outside shortly after the trailer was shaken and caught a glimpse of something very tall and dark moving in their direction from behind the trailer. Adding to the mystery, the witness says that besides the footage she recorded, she later discovered deep scratch marks along her window. As if something had been clawing or scraping at the frame. Taken together, the growls, the impact, the glowing eyes, and now these physical marks. It paints a chilling picture of an encounter far too close for comfort. Adding to the mystery, a small tuft of orangish-brown hair was reportedly found near the trailer, clinging to an electric pole close to where the encounter happened. Skeptics were quick to weigh in, suggesting the so-called creature wasn't unknown at all, but simply a bear. After all, bears are powerful, they growl, and they can leave scratch marks on surfaces. It sounds like a reasonable explanation, at first. But would a bear really behave like this? According to the witness, the sound wasn't right. The growl was different, deeper, and unfamiliar. And how do you explain the tall, upright figure the other witness reportedly saw moving toward the trailer that night? Snow Creek also mentioned that strange growling noises had been heard in that area multiple times before, though no one could ever identify their source. And of course, Mount Shasta has a long, eerie reputation, known not just for Bigfoot sightings, but for paranormal activity of all kinds. With the location's history, the strange audio, the physical damage, and even that mysterious patch of hair, it's easy to see why many believe this encounter might be the real deal. Whatever happened out there, it left behind some truly unnerving evidence. Posted to Reddit, one of Pennsylvania's strangest Bigfoot encounters comes from veteran researcher Stan Gordon. He investigated a fisherman's chilling, late-night experience that still haunts those who hear it. The man had been casting his line in near-total darkness when heavy footsteps broke the quiet behind him. Spinning around with his flashlight, he froze. Standing at the edge of the water was something unlike anything he'd ever seen. A ragged, sickly-looking Bigfoot. Its skin was pale and wrinkled, with large patches completely bare of hair. The remaining fur clung thin and uneven, forming a rough, mohawk-like strip up its head. But it was the high face that stayed with him. Sunken eyes, missing teeth, and skin that looked disturbingly human, but aged far beyond anything natural. Before he could react, the creature stepped closer and grabbed his arm. The grip was strong but brief, almost like it was testing him. Then it simply released and turned back into the trees, vanishing without a sound. When the fisherman later told Stan Gordon what happened, the case became known as the mangy old Bigfoot. Artist Mike Sui even sketched it in 1988, capturing every eerie detail, a being that looked ancient, diseased, yet unmistakably powerful. Some believe it was an aging Bigfoot, cast out from its clan and nearing the end of its life. Others insist it must have been a person suffering from a rare skin condition. Either way, it stands as one of the most disturbing encounters ever recorded in Pennsylvania's Bigfoot history. And honestly, imagine being out there alone by the river. Something like that. Walks up, grabs your arm. Yeah, I'd probably hit the ground before it even let go. In this frame, we're looking at what many consider one of the most compelling images ever linked to an alleged Bigfoot sighting. The photo appears to show a large, upright figure, covered in reddish-brown hair, standing deep within a dense forest. At first glance, the creature's long arms, sloped shoulders, and slightly forward-leaning posture align closely with countless eyewitness descriptions reported across North America. What immediately draws attention is the texture of the hair. It appears rough, naturally, tangled and uneven, unlike the smooth or synthetic look of a costume. The lighting also plays in its favor. Sunlight hits the fur in a way that suggests genuine fibers rather than artificial material. If you look closely, you can even see what seems to be muscle definition around the shoulders and thighs, giving the impression of real movement beneath the hair rather than padded fabric. The environment adds another layer of believability. The forest floor, fallen branches, and bark textures all point to a real outdoor location, not a staged or edited backdrop. There's no clear evidence of props, lighting rigs, or other signs of manipulation. Of course, skeptics maintain it could simply be a person in a high-quality suit, perhaps leaning forward to mimic that primate-like silhouette we associate with Bigfoot. In the end, the image remains a mystery, a blend of intrigue and uncertainty. Whether it's an authentic glimpse of something unknown or just a clever hoax, its lifelike detail keeps it among the most talked-about visuals in Bigfoot research. Proof that, in the deep woods, the boundary between legend and reality can get remarkably thin. On January 13th, 2020, in Ontario, Canada, a routine winter day took a chilling turn for a group of forest workers. While they were working, they heard an eerie sound echoing through the trees. All three men felt uneasy, sensing that something wasn't right. One of them recorded the sound on his phone and later uploaded the video online. What could be the source of these unsettling noises? Are they from an animal, or could it be something far more frightening? While hiking, a group of men stumbled upon something intriguing. Large footprints in the snow near a well-known Bigfoot sighting area.
This right here. Look right here. Get in on this one.
Yeah, I mean, the foot is melted away to make it look bigger. But look at
see,
the top of these right here.
Yeah.
Toes.
Yeah.
So you got a toe here, 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 and then it was the whole heel.
And let me ask you something.
Here, whole heel.
Let me ask you something. If you're looking down at these, do you know something different about this grouping?
There's a small one and
There's
a
a
big
small one and a big one. That means more than one. So it looks like this one might be a parent and a juvenile.
Parent and a juvenile.
And it makes sense because they're all grouped together so close. That's why they're so close together and they're not strided out.
After examining the prints, they concluded they might belong to Bigfoot. Interestingly, footprints of varying sizes were found, hinting that a family of Bigfoot could have passed through. Could these truly be evidence of Bigfoot? Let's take a look at one of the clearest and most convincing Bigfoot encounters ever shared online. It comes from a man known as Matt Moneymaker, who posted the photos on Twitter. He writes, "Here are some photos of a real Sasquatch in Washington state." An elk hunter who spoke at a recent Colorado town hall said the one he saw looked almost identical. The photos, originally released on July 18, 2017, are startlingly detailed. Even though they've been around for years, they've only recently started circulating again on social media. In the first image, the creature appears hunched over, moving quickly toward a tree line. In the second, it's more visible, stepping into a clearing, walking upright through the brush. But it's the third photo that really grabs attention. The level of detail is striking. You can actually see muscle definition beneath the fur. Its biceps and shoulders appear to flex naturally, suggesting real anatomy rather than padding. When people create Bigfoot hoaxes, their suits rarely sit flush against the body. But here, the fur seems attached directly to the skin, moving as one. The face also stands out, gorilla-like features, a broad nose, strong cheekbones, and a pronounced brow ridge. Yet its upright posture and human-like proportions rule out any known primate. And remember, these photos surfaced before modern AI image tools became common. adding even more weight to their authenticity. So, what do you think? Could Matt Moneymaker's photos actually show the real thing? Or is there another explanation behind these remarkable shots? In the forests of Northern California, Corrine Roop claimed something strange had been stalking her property. Loud knocks at night, heavy footsteps, and eerie howls echoing through the trees. Then, one afternoon, she finally saw it. Through the thick brush stood a dark figure, half hidden among the trees. She raised her camera and managed to snap a single photo. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a jumble of leaves and shadows. But Corrine insists, if you look closer, you can see a face. Deep-set eyes, a wide nose, and coarse hair blending seamlessly into the forest background. Skeptics were quick to dismiss it as a trick of light, pure pareidolia. Believers, though, called it one of the clearest glimpses of Bigfoot ever captured. But honestly, that's just not true. I mean, I don't see anything. Maybe this Reddit comment summed it up best. Or this one. I don't know how anyone could submit a photo like this with a straight face. Seriously, does anyone on Earth see something here? One afternoon, while fishing at a remote lake near the Navajo Mountains, a man claims he captured something extraordinary on camera. In the distance, he spotted a large, hairy figure with a domed head and massive shoulders moving steadily through the terrain. He insists this wasn't any ordinary animal, and he's clear on one point: it wasn't a bear. According to him, the creature's size, shape, and movement left no doubt. He's convinced he witnessed a Bigfoot, and given that no primates are native to this region, he asked the obvious question. If not that, then what? Since surfacing online, the footage has sparked heated debate. Some viewers are convinced it's genuine evidence of the elusive Bigfoot, while others are certain it's just a case of mistaken identity, or even a hoax. At this point, the internet seems split right down the middle. Half the crowd swears it's real, the other half, not a chance. Here's a newer and surprisingly convincing Bigfoot photo that's been making the rounds online. All that's known for sure is that it was taken somewhere in Texas. Some claim it came from a trail camera deep in the woods, while others believe it was snapped by someone passing through the area. Either way, the image is captivating. The creature in the photo is incredibly detailed, with its face being the most striking feature. It has that classic Neanderthal-like appearance, a mix of primate and human, giving it an eerie realism. Its face is framed with dense black hair that thins out around the eyes and nose, leaving the mouth and lips clearly visible. The rest of its body appears to be covered in dark, thick fur, adding to its imposing presence. What really sends chills down the spine is the way it's staring directly into the camera. Whether someone took the picture or it was captured automatically, the creature looks fully aware of being watched. That unnerving awareness ties into one of the most common claims about Sasquatch, that they're highly intelligent, constantly alert, and capable of detecting even the slightest intrusion into their environment. And that's part of what makes them so fascinating. Despite their massive size and strength, they've managed to remain hidden for decades. Is it because of their natural camouflage, their intelligence, or maybe a mix of both? Whatever the answer, this photo definitely reignites the question: how can something so large stay so unseen?